Hey there everybody, slowbroguy here, bringing you another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle against some random dude from the random Wi-Fi battle thingy. Anyway, let's get it started, shall we? Alrighty then. I start things off with a Uxie, while he starts things off with a Zigglyph. Right off the bat, we're both like, light screen, because light screen's a good idea when it's a 3v3 Pokemon battle thing. And then, we both set up Reflect. Because, you know, it's pretty cool. Seems like a pretty good idea at the time. And then next up he goes for Air Slash. Unfortunately for me, he gets a flinch, but look at that damage. It didn't do anything, really. And he hits me with a second Air Slash ball. I hit him with a Yawn. And then next up he switches out because, you know, he's like, I don't want to go to sleep. Sleeping is bad for you, but not really. Anyway, I use U-turn, and I go into Rotom. And he switches out right away and goes into Leavanny, that's his name. Well, I use Volt Switch, predicting that switch. Well, I don't know about predicting it, but, you know, I was just doing it because it seemed like a good idea at the time. Anyway, I go into Dragonite, and he uses Leaf Whistle, which is, you know, unfortunate for me because Dragonite is now asleep, and he's one of my main attackers in this team, so, you know, it kind of sucks a little bit. And Dragonite is still snoozing away, light screens wears off, and he finally wakes up and uses Earthquake on that Empoleon. This is a Choice Banded Dragonite, so that Earthquake actually did quite a lot, which, you know, I'm kind of happy about. Even with a Reflect, that did a lot. Anyway, I switch out and I go right back into Rotom, and he also switches out and he goes into Zigglyph. That's its name. Anyway, I use Trick because, you know, tricking Zigglyphs is pretty good these days, I hear. And also that means he's got shorter, like, reflects and light screens and all that good stuff. But he switches out and he goes into Leavanny again, while I hit it with a Hydro Pump. Which, I don't even, well, I guess I did kind of predict that Leavanny switch, and Hydro Pump would do more than Thunderbolt or Volt Switch, so, you know, I figure, might as well just go for that. But, anywho, I switch out and I go into Uxie. He gets hit with a Leaf Blade. He switches out and he goes into Empoleon. And I use Light Screen. Don't know why I went Light Screen. Should have just went Reflect right off the bat. But in the end, I guess it didn't matter, because apparently I outsped it anyway. But he used Avalanche, probably predicting my Dragonite switch in. He switches out and he goes into Zigglyph again, while I use U-turn. That U-turn does get a critical hit, but, I mean, look at that damage. It didn't do, like, jack diddly crap, so... the crit in the end doesn't matter, in my opinion, anyway. But I U-turn, and I go into Rotom, hit it, then, Rotom uses Thunderbolt, because, you know, I commanded it to use Thunderbolt, and Zigglyph takes it like a champion because of that, what's it called? Light Screen. Anyway, I use, Volt Switch, predicting something, like his Leavanny or something, and I go into Dragonite. Anyway, he switches out and he goes into Zigglyph as a Death Spotter because, you know, extreme speed. And his Leavanny is actually kind of important right now because it's like his only means of taking out my Rotom. Now he goes into Empoleon, and I switch out because I'm like, you know, I don't really want to die to that Avalanche, because with the amount of HP that my Dragonite has, it won't take that very well. But I use Volt Switch because, in all honesty, I really thought it was going to kill it, but apparently 70 base isn't enough to kill Empoleon, even though it is stab coming from Rotom. But I go into Uxie and he uses Flail. But since Uxie is such a freaking champion of justice, he takes that like a champ, and an Aqua Jet on top of that, and uses U-turn to take out his Empoleon. Next up, I go into my Dragonite, because he's on his last Pokemons, which is Leavanny. And as Levani comes in, and then it is taken out by an extreme speed. But anyway, that was a very, very close game. Random person on Wi-Fi. Was really fun. And this is slowbroguy. And until next time, see you later for now.